But I don't want to wait till they 18, 19, 20 to figure it out. Like, you going to figure it out now. So by the time you up there, you already know what to do when they come again. Like, So I'm not trying to hide my kids from life. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I'm very real and transparent with them. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, they seen everything I done been through, and um, so we got to the point where my middle son was like, "I want to go back to Granny." I was like, "You sure? You sure?" Because we y'all keep wanting to go back to places where you think you're not a little child anymore. When you was a little child, it was fun and all that, but you're growing up, and I'm trying to tell you that when you go back, it's not gonna be like what you think it is. He didn't want to listen. So I got back in contact with my mom. I went no contact from everybody in Georgia for like over a year. And everybody was worried about me. But when I finally got in contact with them, they was just like, I knew you could do it. I knew you were gonna be okay. You know how it is. So, yeah, so I let him go back with my mom. So he wound up coming back with my mom. And I'm in Texas by myself. And I'm like, okay, I gotta do everything possible to keep my apartment. I cannot slack. I do not want to go back to Georgia. Three of my children are in Georgia, one in Detroit. And I'm just like, fuck. I was like, I'm back in that same situation again. Like, what in the hell? And so I am kind of beating myself up because I'm just like, there's no way I went through all that for nothing. So it got to that point where I was just like, okay, okay, I made a plan. Everything was everything. I wrote it down. I had me a little whiteboard. I was like, okay, I'm by myself. I can move how I need to move. That same day, I'm at work. 'Cause I still work at the school. That same day, my mom calls me and tells me that my son is telling people that the counselors at school that he doesn't want to be here anymore, that he wants to take his own life. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And so, cause like before that, I had a conversation with him, and I said, look, okay, I need you and your brother, I need y'all to stay, just, just do everything y'all can do to just stay low key, do what y'all asked to do. I'm coming. I just need to get it together to the point where I'm able to at least break this lease. I mean, not break this lease. Get serve out the rest of this lease or whatever, and save money, and then come and get y'all. Get some money. Get some businesses going. Like, do some things. Like, I have enough time, energy, and space to actually focus on some type of business. Something. Let me just do that. 2 weeks later, that day when I had came up with the plan, that was the day my mom called me and was like, "You gotta come get him. You gotta come get him. I can't do it. I just don't know. I got so much going on." Da, 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 da. And I was just like, "Okay, you know, um, fine. I'll come get them. I'll come get him." So I get in my car after I brought him during Christmas time. That's when I brought him, and I I had some other organizations donate a whole lot of toys. Like, my kids had a really good Christmas or whatever. I don't celebrate Christmas, but it's that time of year, whatever, whatever. Anyway, so I had a whole bunch of gifts in the bag. I had four bikes in the bag, four big bags of toys and clothes and all that type of stuff. My son was in the front seat. We in the car again, driving from Texas to Georgia. And my plan, I left him there. And then I got that call. So I had to come back to come pick this boy up, because I'm thinking, like, I'm finna just pick him up and I'm just gonna do what I said I was gonna do. I got a plan. I got a plan. I was like, there's no way that my plan finna get messed up. Like, I was set. And my mom and my dad, they sat me down and was like, well, we don't think you should go back to Texas. We think you should stay here with your children and just try to figure out what's going on. So at that point, I was just conflicted. I was like, what do I do? Because I really, technically, I don't want to be away from my children. Like, that's the last thing I want to do. But I know that I have a lot of space to do what I need to do to set myself up to be able to care for them like I need to when I'm back in Georgia. Because I know when I go back to Georgia, I got to figure out where I'm gonna live at because I don't want to live with my mama, and I don't want to live. It's not that I can't live with my mom, or it's just me and her bump heads. My mama is, I love her, but uh, that affects me really bad to be in the same space as her. So I have to, you know, and so it's another story about my dad. I don't really want to get into it, but I can't stay with him. And so I got family. Like I said, I'm the light sheep. People really don't fool with me like that. So um can't stay nowhere, you know. So I was just like, okay, what I'm gonna do, you know. So I decided to go back to Texas and pack up all my stuff in my beautiful new apartment that I just freaking got. And I sold a lot of stuff, you know. And then I just packed the car up and I just came on back to Georgia. And when I came back to Georgia, of course, I was really extremely depressed. I was depressed. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. But, you know, I still kind of was able to keep myself up, keep myself together, keep my car, do, you know, because I'm a hustler for real. Like, I'm going to make sure I got at least the bare minimum, you know. I'm going to make sure I can eat. I'm going to make sure I can shower. I'm going to make sure I got my car. I'm going to make sure it's stuff like that, you know. So, I was really depressed, you know. Uh, then I started tapping back into my spirituality because every time I'm down, it's like I have the time and the space, but it's like when things are going on, it's like I do little things. I meditate, you know, but I can't really get into it how I really want to get into it because I feel like there's two worlds. Just I'm being split into two worlds, and there is one that's I know that the spiritual world kind of reflects this physical, but in the illusion, like the third dimension is just like it's in your face. Like you constantly have to make sure everything is everything in that space. So sometimes I do fall off or whatever, but when I'm down, I have that time, energy, and space to do what I need to do or whatever. So yeah, I started just, doing my thing. And, I got me a job and, specific things that I asked for, like a work at home job with no phone. Got that. And so I'm like, okay, well, I can kind of keep things balanced a little bit. Because I knew at one point I was going to have to, move into my van. I was going to have to figure it out. So um, I just started looking up stuff on the internet, looking up van life on the internet, and just seeing people actually doing it. Like people are actually living in their van, and I'm just like, okay, I can do this. I had some money saved up or whatever, and so I think the last $400 that was in my account, I took that and I just furnished my van. I put my seats down into my floor and I bought me a cot. I bought me a mattress. Like y'all can see back there, it look a little messy, but it's not. It's some stuff going on. I got more videos that I'm about to post actually. That'll give you a more like in-depth tour or whatever. But yeah, I bought the stuff that I needed, the essentials. I got somewhere to sleep. I got like a little sink in here. Um, it's real cozy and
You got a
comfy. And
sink? Uh-oh, you got a sink in
no,
there?
I said, yeah, it's like a little tub. It's like a little tub that I can drain and stuff like. But yeah, it's cool. And this is I'm a nomad at heart for real. Like I don't really like staying in one place. I like to travel around and just be. I like the fact that everything that I need is with me. And at any point in given time, I could just go somewhere, and I
Hmm.
got everything
Like
that
a
I need. I got all
gypsy.
my clothes. Yeah, that's me.
Hmm.
That's what I used to call myself, a nomadic gypsy. This is
Uh
before I was even, cause I like to move around. I lived in 2 states. I don't live. I like to move around, so that is comforting for me.
So
So
how
yeah,
so
that's what
how did your family take it when you decided to like take on this kind of lifestyle living out the van?
I got people saying they worried about me, and I don't really like that because I just feel like how far what's your cap on the worry? You know what I'm saying? Like why are you worrying about me? Like, why are you putting that energy on me? Like, you think something bad gonna happen to me? Why not? wish me well. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when people worry about me, and I don't like when people say, put that act on, but don't quite do everything that they can do to actually help me. And it's not that I want handouts, but I just don't need you worrying if you're not gonna be like, okay, here's all the things that I can do to help you. Like, but I don't want you to be like, oh, well, I'm so worried about you, and I know I got this to help you, but I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I'm worried.
Or just don't
Leave
say
that
nothing at
energy.
all, right?
Let
Just
it
wish
go.
me
I don't
well
know.
and don't say nothing at all, right?
Yeah,
Something
I
leave.
don't quite understand. What's worry? It's like when you worry, it's like you putting the energy of fear out on
Yeah,
somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's
yeah,
no point in doing it because
yeah.
I'm gonna be out here regardless if you worried or not. I'm out here, so relax.
But the minute you got in the van, what was your feelings? Like it's like woo, like it's like I feel like emancipated. I feel free. Like what are your feelings once you get in this? Once you make that decision and you get that van, like how was your feelings? How did you feel?
um, I felt really empowered because of the
Mm.
simple fact that I'm like, no matter what situation I'm in, Key gon' make a way out of no way. I'm gonna figure that shit out.